this is Becca from Becca's Music Room. I'm a music teacher who talks about teacher tips, teacher life, teacherpreneurs, and all things that might hopefully make your life just a little bit easier, which we all need in this distance learning craziness right now. So if you are watching this sometime in the future, I don't really know why you clicked on it, but cool. I am filming this in May of 2020. Today is actually May 14th. Tomorrow is my last day of school. Fun fact. And we are in the full throttle of distance learning. We have not, my school system at least, has not been in school for 2 months. At first, I was doing really well with videos. Obviously, I know how to do the video aspect, and I was doing really well with like making digital products. I had never done it before, but I figured it out and figured out how to make assignments and how to do Google Classroom and all that stuff. And then my principal said, "Oh, you're gonna teach live lessons on Zoom." And I said, "Excuse me?" And not just 1 or 2 live lessons on Zoom, but you're gonna teach, let's see, how many is it? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lessons plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small groups. So that's what, 8 plus 5 is 13. So I'm at 13. And 2 virtual field trips. So I have 15 live lessons every week. Now, to be totally honest, I don't have that many kids coming to my live lessons. So if you're teaching live lessons and half the time you're sitting there practicing your ukulele, I feel you. But I do have kids showing up most of the time. So at first I was completely lost, and now that it's been 2 months and school is over, I finally feel like I have a handle on this. So if you are teaching live lessons via Zoom or Google Meets or whatever, here are some suggestions for things that you can do to teach music via live lessons. Now, of course, this is not an extensive list, but it is at least a little bit. I'm gonna get going because people say I'm too chatty. I have my list right here. And also, it's on this beautiful stationery with my name on it. Can we just talk about how beautiful that is and how on brand? Oh, I just love it. Erin Condren, I'll leave a link down below. I think you get like $10 off if you make an account when you use that link. So anyway, easy and fun activities for Zoom. So I actually am using Google Meets and not Zoom, but I feel like Zoom is like the Kleenex of the video conferencing world, but I've been quite happy with Google Meets. Anyway, so lots of ideas. We're gonna go really quickly. Number 1 is you can read books. Not anything revolutionary. We've been reading lots and lots and lots of books. I even ordered some on Amazon because I didn't have enough at home. And by enough, I mean I didn't have any at home. I had them all at school, so I ordered some. Anyway, number 2 is you can listen to different music and draw. This is one of my favorite things to do in actual real life class, especially if I'm going to the teachers' classrooms. It's a nice chill activity that you can do, and you can teach so much. So you can talk about the mood of the piece, or you can talk about the instruments that you could hear, or you can talk about the form. One thing that's really fun is if you have a form, if you have a piece that has a form, like let's say it's A-B, then you can play the A section and stop and have the kids draw a picture for the A section, and then play the B section and stop and have the kids draw a picture for the B section. You could talk about how they're similar or how they're different and all of those good things. So listening and drawing, awesome. You could also do different genres and talk about different genres of music. Super fun, super easy. Most kids have some kind of paper and some kind of writing utensil at home. All right, number 3, music terms Hangman. So I did that this week for the last week of school, and I initially was gonna do it on my whiteboard, but I found a website that has free Hangman that you can put your own words in. So I put like 7 instrument names, and we just went through those, and it did like randomly. So that was really fun. I'll leave the link to that down below because it was really cool and like exactly what I needed. That's 3. 4, you can do different music experiments. So we did a little bit of this. We talked about the instruments of the orchestra with my older students, and for string instruments, we did a little science experiment. All right, so when we did string instruments, I had the kids go find either a string or a rubber band. Now, most of them had rubber bands, so we did that mostly, but it works better with the string. So what you do is you take your string, and every time we talk about string instruments, we always talk about how Small is high, big is low. That is science, you should know. And I show them my cello and my violin because they look similar, but they're different sizes. And so you can hear the high and the low. Then we took a string and you kind of wind it around with your hand or your finger. You put your finger right here in front of your ear. There's like a little bone there and they can usually figure it out. And you pull it really tight and then you pluck it bigger or smaller, so you can wind it up even more. Do the same thing. And you can hear it getting higher or lower. It works with the rubber bands, and most of the kids found rubber bands easier than string. Not quite as cool. I like the string better because it's easier to see the high and the low. But it's just really fun to experiment and kind of move it in and out. And it was a really easy thing that we did over Google Meets, and they actually got to like get up and find something and do something, which was kind of my goal for the day. Other examples of things you can do is fill up glasses with different amounts of water and, you know, kind of tap on those very gently. And lots of different music experiments like that. If your kids have a lot more stuff at home, you could maybe even make some instruments, maybe use like straws to make flutes or clarinets or recorders, I guess would be whistles would be a better way to say that. And different things like that. You can just type into Pinterest like do-it-yourself instruments and you'll find tons. Number 5, finding percussion instruments. Now, I cannot take credit for this one. I saw it on Miss Wonderly Makes Music. She's been doing, I think she might be done now, but she was doing these like 30-minute music lessons live on Facebook and they were amazing. Like, holy cow, I cannot understand how she made it just look so effortless and flawless. It had like all these different segments. Anyway, so one thing that she did with her kids, and she suggested, because I've like watched all of them by myself, not with kids, and she suggested that you went and found something in your house that you could hit, scrape, or shake. So, like I said, we talked about instruments in the orchestra and we did like one family a week. So when we talked about percussion, we did that. I showed them 3 things that I had found around my house and then I had them go find stuff around their house. So for example, I used a cereal box for hit. It could also be shake. A half-eaten thing of peanuts for shake. Those are probably stale, they're real old. And then I found this cup that has kind of these like things on the side and you can use your fingernail or that's what I did. So we found all the different things and then we used them to play the steady beat and then to play rhythms along with some salsa songs, which was super fun. Which leads me to my next one. The next thing was that you can learn a dance. We did this, again, we did this and then we learned how to play the clave rhythm for salsa, which is 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3, and we used words along with that. So we came up with like 2-syllable and 3-syllable words, so like ice cream, chocolate, ice cream, chocolate, stuff like that. Then we learned how to dance the salsa and I played the music through there. I actually played a video that taught how to do the salsa, so I will leave that down below. And then we listened to the song and we salsa danced around our houses, and I was kind of apprehensive about it and didn't think it would be that much fun. It was so much fun. It was one of the best things that we did the whole time. I was like, why haven't we been dancing like every week? This is great. And they loved it. So super, super fun and super easy. Like salsa is really easy to do, like the simple steps, really easy to teach. The next thing you could do is musical Pictionary. So you could have maybe instruments of the orchestra and have kids draw pictures of the instrument and you have to guess before they finish their picture. Really easy, really fun. The next thing we did is also a last day of school, and this was name the song. That's not a very creative name, but that's what I called it. We used Disney music, and so what I did is I just went on to Apple or iTunes and I typed in like Disney, I think it was Disney Essentials playlist, and then I just clicked shuffle and I would play a song and they had to type the name of it into the little chat. That way I could see who got it first. So I would play a song, they would type in the chat, whoever won got a point, and whoever obviously had the most would win at the end. You didn't win anything, but they were still really, really, really into it, even though there were only 2 kids on that call. We recommend using the chat because it's really easy to see who said it first. Really fun, really simple, and really interesting to see how much they knew and didn't know about Disney songs. The next thing is you could obviously just practice with steady beat, keeping the beat different places on your body while you play a song. You could also keep the beat with different found sounds if you would like to do that. The next one is one I have not tried, but it sounds like fun. And it is, I don't know what to call it, fill in the blank with the song. So what you do is you go through a song. This would be great for end of the year wrap up. Go through a song that you have sung in school or just like a really popular one, and you sing parts and then you leave off and the kids have to fill in the next line. Putting everyone on mute and then having like you sing it and they could like raise their hand or something like that, and then you could unmute that kid and they sing the next line. This would also be really great to obviously get some singing tests in if you are still trying to assess kids. I am not. We'll worry about it next year. And the last thing on my list is virtual field trips. So this is something I knew pretty much nothing about until my principal said, you're gonna do 2 virtual field trips a week. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. So you can Google virtual field trips and you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. I'll link some of the ones that we've done down below. Some things we've done is we've taken a virtual field trip of Mozart's house and we watched a video about Mozart. We did the Jazz Museum, I think it's in Kansas City, which was really cool. And I pulled up videos of the different people that are featured in the Jazz Museum. So when we got to like Ella Fitzgerald, we would go watch a video about Ella Fitzgerald, and they really enjoyed that one. It was a lot of fun. This week we're doing a virtual field trip of Disney because we did Disney. So you can go on Google or on YouTube and find people who have filmed Disney rides. Like they sit on the ride and they film the whole way so it looks like you're on the ride. So that was a lot of fun. We did flamenco one week, and so we looked around Spain and on Google Earth, and then we watched a video all about flamenco. And of course, the orchestra. So I have a couple of different orchestra ones that I liked. I'll leave them down below. They were a lot of fun. Those were definitely the best. All right guys, so that is 11 different things that you can do via Google Meets with your kiddos. Obviously it's not everything in the world that you can do, but it is a few things that might give you some ideas. I know this is the very end of the year, but honestly, I did not have this many ideas a couple of weeks ago, so it's the best I can do. Thank you so much for watching. If you have suggestions that you can do over Zoom, leave them in the comments down below. If you have suggestions for videos or questions, leave those in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful week.